Good morning, everybody from Fern Forest. I'm doing a video this morning. I'm doing a follow-up on the work that Pam and I showcased about a month ago in a video showing how bad our coffee was and all the work that needed to be done to fix it. And I'm just doing a follow-up. All the work is paid off, all the labor, down on your hands and knees, doing the old style farming pays off, because look at these plants now. Boy, look at that beautiful fresh growth on these coffee plants. Wow, what a difference from the last video. It's pretty much unbelievable. A lot of people have questions, and that's one of the main reasons I'm doing this video, is they're like, well, you live in Hawaii, it's supposed to be the best soil in the world there. And what they fail to realize is, yes, volcanic soil is some of the most nutrient rich and mineral rich soil in the world. But the problem is, where I live, is it rains 150 inches of rain a year. And with that being said, what happens to the soil here is the nitrogen, which is a very, very move-aroundable, minus any other word I can think of, nutrient. And what it does is it flows anywhere and everywhere. It's very, very simple for nitrogen to move. So what happens is it rains here and all the nitrogen gets washed right out of the soil. Yeah, it's nutrient rich, it's got everything. Guess what it doesn't have? It doesn't have nitrogen, because the nitrogen has been washed downstream. A lot of people don't realize the fact that nitrogen is probably the most move-aroundable mineral in the world. A lot of people, when they see that they have a flower in their garden, and right before it flowers and blooms and then dies, they notice that the bottom leaves of the plant are yellowing. And most people just attribute that to the fact that it's just dying. Well, what's really happening is the plant, as it's young in its vegetative state, before it actually goes into producing itself, replicating itself, what it does is it pulls nitrogen out of the ground and it stores it in its lower leaves. Now, when that plant becomes fertilized, pollinated, or whatever you would like to call it, the main goal of that plant is to reproduce itself. And what it does, by economy of work, instead of pulling nitrogen out of the ground through its roots, which is a very hard endeavor for the plant, it pulls them out of the bottom leaves that it has stored them in. So when you see those bottom yellow leaves on a plant dying, just know that that's what the plant does. It's not dying, it's being very economical in its resource base. It's stored up its nitrogen for a purpose, and now it's being utilized. So that being said, nitrogen is the deal around here. Wow, look at this little tree. What a turnaround it's done. My goodness. Super happy with the way everything's looking here. But I want to let everybody know, nitrogen's the key here. Right now we're using chicken manure pellets, and it's about $19 for 50 pounds. In the last 3 weeks, sorry about the umbrella, but it is raining, and that's my new friend, the umbrella. He just got to visit my little co-pilot. But anyhow, the chicken manure is the way to go right now. Okay, it's 100% organic, and it provides a 5-4-3 nitrogen, phosphorus, and what's the other? And potash, I believe it is. I don't know. I'm not that well versed on all the nitrogen stuff. But at any rate, that's what's going on here in Fern Forest today. It's raining. We live in a rainforest, and everything's looking pretty good. I'm real happy. The yerba mate a month ago, see all my yerba mate plants right here. Got 40 of them lined up, stretching all the way down to there. And boy, oh boy, were they yellow. The nitrogen has really turned them around. So the goal is going to be for us to figure out a way to make nitrogen fertilizer to fertilize our plants without having to spend the money. The whole reason we came out here was to be self-sufficient, and part of self-sufficiency is not going to the store and buying a bag of chicken manure pellets. So we're working on things that are what they call nitrogen fixers, which are plants that you can actually grow and what they call it is they chop and drop. You cut them and throw them around your plants and let them just decompose. Other reason I'm stopped right here is I just wanted to show you guys, this is a neem tree. Now I know you've all heard of neem oil and everything else, but this is what it comes from. This little tree right here. Real happy to have a few of these on the property. It's a very unique plant, and I can't wait to see how it does. So, but all in all, really happy with what has become of the coffee field that was destined to die, because the coffee plants just weren't getting what they needed, and that's that nitrogen. So, as I was saying a minute ago, our key here is to find out a way to make nitrogen that we can put in the soil that I don't have to buy in a bag in the store. And the reason I'm discussing that right now, because if you take a look down right here, you will see that right there is called, I believe it's called a perennial peanut. And here it is over here too. What this plant actually does is it will get into the volcanic rock, break it down, pull the nitrogen out, hold it in its leaves, and then you chop it down and put those leaves around your plants, and presto, you have nitrogen. So that's going to be our mission, is to figure out how to nitrogenize our plants and soil without going to the store and buying chicken manure. Definitely going to get some chickens, but we're not going to have enough chickens to produce 800 pounds of manure to hit my field 4 times a year. So that's going to be an issue we're going to be dealing with, and we'll be talking about in the future. But just wanted to let you guys see, even this little guy right here, I think he's actually going to live. I thought this guy was dead. I can't believe he's coming back. That's pretty impressive. So plants are like people. You give them what they want, and they'll grow. And they will take care of you. And boy, oh boy, look at how nice these little plants are doing. All the fresh new growth. These things were stunted. They didn't have any growth on them at all. And, you know, especially this guy here. Look at all the rocks we dug out around this poor little thing trying to grow. No doubt. But anyhow, hey, have a great Friday, everybody.